The action of 8 January 1780 was a naval encounter off Cape Finisterre between a British Royal Naval fleet under Admiral Sir George Rodney, and a fleet of Spanish merchants sailing in convoy with 7 warships of the Caracas Company, under the command of Commodore Don Juan Agustin de Yardi. During the action, the entire Spanish convoy was captured. Rodney's fleet was en route to relieve Gibraltar, and this action took place several days before Rodney's engagement and defeat of a Spanish fleet at the Battle of Cape St. Vincent. Background: one of Spain's principal goals upon its entry into the American Revolutionary War in 1779 was the recovery of Gibraltar, which had been lost to England in 1704. The Spanish consequently planned to retake Gibraltar by blockading and starving out its garrison, which included troops from Britain and the Electorate of Hanover. The siege formally began in June 1779, with the Spanish establishing a land blockade around the rock. The matching naval blockade was comparatively weak, and the British discovered that small fast ships could evade the blockaders, while slower and larger supply ships generally could not. By late 1779, however, supplies in Gibraltar had become seriously depleted, and General George Eliot appealed to London for relief. A supply convoy was organized, and in late December 1779 a large fleet sailed from England under the command of Admiral Sir George Bridges Rodney. Although Rodney's final destination was the West Indies, he had secret instructions to first resupply Gibraltar and Minorca. Action: on 4 January Rodney parted with the ship of the line HMS Hector under Sir John Hamilton, and the frigates HMS Phoenix, HMS Andromeda and HMS Greyhound under Captains Hyde Parker, Bryn and William Dixon respectively, to escort the West Indies-bound merchants. The following day Rodney encountered a Spanish convoy consisting of 22 ships, bound from San Sebastian to Cadiz. He closed on them, the copper sheathing on some of his ships, allowing them to outsail the Spanish. The whole convoy was captured, except for one merchant vessel. Vessels which had been carrying naval stores to the Spanish fleet at Cadiz, and baled goods for the Royal Caracas Company were sent back to England, escorted by HMS America and HMS Pearl. Rodney took those Spanish ships that were found to be carrying provisions useful to Gibraltar to relieve the British forces there. In addition, Rodney commissioned and manned the captured Spanish flagship, the 64-gun Guipuzcoana, naming her HMS Prince William, in honor of Prince William, who was present at the engagement. Rodney remarked in his dispatches to the Admiralty that the loss of the ships must greatly distress the enemy, who I am well informed are in much want of provisions and naval stores. Several days later Rodney engaged and defeated a Spanish fleet under Don Juan de Langara at the Battle of Cape St. Vincent, on 16 January 1780, before going on to relieve Gibraltar and Minorca. Ships involved. The order of battle is as reported by Beatson. British Fleet HMS Sandwich Admiral Sir George Bridges Rodney, Captain Walter Young. HMS Prince George Rear Admiral Robert Digby, Captain Philip Hatton. HMS Royal George Rear Admiral John Lockhart Ross, Captain J. Ormaster. HMS Alcide Captain J. Brisbane. HMS Ajax Captain S. Uvedale. HMS Bedford Captain Edmund Affleck. HMS Culloden Captain George Balfour. HMS Cumberland Captain J. Peyton. HMS Edgar Captain John Elliot. HMS Montague Captain J. Holton. HMS Monarch Captain Adam Duncan. HMS Shrewsbury Captain Mark Robinson. HMS Terrible Captain J. Douglas. HMS Resolution Captain Challoner Ogle. HMS Invincible Captain S. Cornish. HMS Defence Captain James Cranston. HMS Marlborough Captain T. Penny. HMS Dublin Captain S. Wallace. HMS America Captain S. Thompson. HMS Beanfacent Captain John McBride. HMS Convert Captain Henry Harvey. HMS Pearl Captain George Montague, HMS Triton Captain Skeffington Lutwidge, HMS Pegasus Captain John Baisley, HMS Porcupine Captain Lord Hugh Seymour, HMS Hyanna Captain Edward Thompson, Spanish Fleet Caracas Company Warship Skippers Coano Commodore Don Juan Augustin de Yardi, Captain Don Thomas de Malay, San Carlos Captain Don Fermin Urtizpura, San Rafael Captain Don Luis Aranburu, Santa Teresa Captain Don Jose J. de Mendizabal, San Bruno Captain J. M. de Goicoechea, San Fermin Captain J. Van Eloy Sanchez, San Vicente Captain Don Jose de Ugalda, Merchant Señuiz, Senora de Lervis, San Francisco, La Concepcion, San Nicolas, San Geronimo, Divina Providencia, San Gavilan, San Pacora, San Loren, La Providencia, La Bellona, Esperanza, La Ciudad de Murcia, La Amistad, San Miguel,